everybody. I'm Stephanie from Mid-City Beat, and welcome again to another series or another episode, let's say, of the Mid-City TV and this series of Her Story. So with this series, what I am doing is I'm interviewing various women around Yucatan that are doing inspiring work, that have an inspiring story, and they're going to come here and share that story with you. So today I am with Sara Renshaw, who is the founder of the Green Maya Project, and she does a lot with sustainability in the community, has some great projects, has some great retreats and ecotourism. So we're going to talk to her a little bit about her story and her journey and how she got to Merida and how she got into this world of sustainability. So bring in Sara. Hello, Sara.
Hi, everyone.
Hello, everybody. Also, I didn't mention, but like usual, you can leave a comment and a question for Sara or for me, and I can see the comments come in, so I will read them as soon as I get a chance in between questions and in between talking. So Sara, awesome. Welcome. Thanks so much for being here with me.
Thank you so much, Steph, and to Mid-City Beats for inviting me in this opportunity to talk about my ecotourism business and living a sustainable lifestyle, because it's super important for all of us. So thank you.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. And that's something I want to emphasize a little bit more in Mid-City, you know, especially during the pandemic. I've always had my eye on sustainability, and I've always tried to do my part and try to, I guess, lessen my carbon footprint. But really during the pandemic, I think things were highlighted on how much everyone really needs to seriously lighten their carbon footprint and really be proactive about it. So I'm excited to learn a little bit more about it too with you. Definitely. Great. So, okay, so this is the series that I'm doing that's her story. So I do want you to tell us a little bit about your story, how you got here, how you got into sustainability. So maybe go back a little bit in her story and tell us kind of where it all began.
Sure. Be my pleasure. So back in 2007, I co-founded a nonprofit water charity in Uganda, Africa. In my living room, we did the first fundraiser at our house. Yeah. And so what inspired this is a small group of friends, and what inspired this is that the people in Africa don't have access to water. Specifically, the women. The women are the ones who are taking the brunt of this. They're the ones who are carrying the jerry cans for 8 miles, walking to bring water into their house. And then the second part of it is young girls, when they start their menstrual cycle, they have to stop going to school because they don't have the facilities at school to deal with our natural processes. So of course there's a stigma with it. And at the age of 12 and 13, the girls just have to stop going to school. So, right?
Wow.
So, yeah. So what we did is we started digging wells at schools, then building bathroom facilities so that the girls could then stay in school. And then the wells ended up being a water source for the community. The schools maintained the wells, and then the community could walk and get the water. So instead of walking 8 miles, it's right there in the community. So that was super big and passionate for me.
Well, let me ask you a quick question. So you were saying that you started fundraising from your living room in Los Angeles?
In Los Angeles, yes. Sorry, I'm from Los Angeles. Yeah,
right. From Los Angeles, but lives here in Merida.
Yes, that was many years ago. We started in 2007. Since then, now.
So were you working with a group, you were working with a group that was in Africa, and then you would raise the funds and send the money there, or were you actually going?
No, so we started, it was 5 of us friends from the entertainment business. Everyone was producers and managers, and entertainment business. And everyone was like, we need to do something that matters, because this reality TV is BS, you know, and there's more important things that we need to be working on. So with 5 of us, we co-founded this nonprofit, and it's completely grassroots. The founder, the president lives in Uganda 6 to 8 months a year. She's a real badass.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So yeah, we started it.
And you were coming and going from Uganda to LA.
Exactly.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
Yeah, it was.
And so does that project that you just said, that project continues? So
that project continues. It's a profit. I mean, an organization called Drop in the Bucket.
Okay.
I'm no longer working on the day-to-day with it, because it's what inspired my journey into sustainability, my career in sustainability.
Right.
Because during the research, I learned that there's only 3% of water on this planet that is made up mostly of water. Only 3% is drinkable, is potable, is usable by us.
Wow.
For
the whole planet.
The whole planet. So the almost 8 billion people, we're working on even less than 3%, because 1.5% is not accessible. It's either underground or frozen in icebergs.
Right.
So we're sharing very, very little water. And in the world where we turn on our tap and water comes out, we take it for granted.
Absolutely.
You know, it's like it's just coming, and for us, it's no big deal. But for most of the world, it's not accessible. And if we're using it irresponsibly, then that same thing is going to happen to us. It's not a sustainable natural resource.
Right. Well, and especially here in Merida, I haven't really kept up on what's going on with this, but I know here in Merida, maybe you know, there's a little bit of a worry about water, because Merida has been growing so much. And I've been hearing it, I've read it a little bit about in the news over the years. And like I said, I haven't really kept up on it, but I know that that's a water here, possible scarcity of water.
Huge problem, especially with the heat that we feel during these months. I mean, that's just absorbing it. So
Right.
we're wasting it by, using it irresponsibly, but also the natural effects of climate change are taking what we do have away to other places and flooding other zones. So yes, it's a big concern. It's a big concern for here in Merida, in Yucatan.
Right. So what have you done here? So then from that project you came, and how long have you been here in Merida, and what are you dedicating yourself to here?
So there was a couple of things that happened in there. When I got inspired by the water deficiencies, going, oh crap, we're going to run out of water. Like, this is really scary. So I went to UCLA and got a degree in global sustainability. And in that, I studied industrial agriculture, industrial manufacturing, construction and development, fast fashion, social inequalities, the true cost of doing business. And so I started a business where I was helping a consulting business, a sustainability consulting business, helping businesses to implement sustainability into operations and the building itself. And this was back in 2010. So people weren't listening yet. People didn't hear it. They didn't understand it. All they wanted to know was, well, how much is it going to cost me?
Right.
How much is it going to cost to upgrade my business, to upgrade, and I did that for 5 or 6 years, and I got burnt out. I just got completely burnt out on, it's all about the money. It's all about the bottom line. And so as far as Merida and how I got here, we've been coming here for 20 plus years on holiday, on vacation, family. We fell in love with it 20 years ago.
Right.
And so I was at a point where I needed a break. I needed to disconnect. And so I planned a holiday to Tulum. And on that holiday, I did some tours with a literal George of the Jungle. He's
we know those types.
Exactly. And this inspired me. I mean, we did bird watching, and we went into the Siankan biosphere, and we're just no distractions. It was just nothing but nature. And it inspired me. And I thought, well, if I can't tell people what to do, then I need to show people what to do, how to do it. And when people connect with nature and native cultures and spirituality, I don't have to do anything, because nature speaks to you. It tells you, it reminds you of our human responsibilities. Right.
Absolutely. It talks to you.
When you hear the birds and you can smell the flowers and you see these breathtaking places that you're just like, you let your guard down.
Yeah.
And in that moment I went, I want to start an ecotourism business. I want to connect with people on an intimate level, on a connection that nature will tell you what you need to do instead of me telling you what you need to do.
Right.
So before I moved here in 2015, I started the business, and I was working from afar, but going back and forth. And it was great. I love to see when people find that connection, when they feel nature, whenever they're like, I get it. And naturally, they just start doing what we need to do.
Yeah.
So in 2018, I decided to make the move. And so my teenage son at that time, he and I moved to Merida specifically.
So the whole time you had been coming back and forth. You weren't living here permanently.
No.
Okay. Not until 2018 you came and made the permanent move. Right?
Exactly.
Okay.
Yep. And so with some adjustments, because I was working, it was primarily in Tulum, which we all know used to be beautiful, but is having some problems nowadays.
It is having some problems. It's really sad.
It's super sad. It breaks my heart.
Right.
But then also having a teenage son in high school, we needed to come to a city that had schools and a proper education. So Merida was the natural move. And so with that, I kind of reinvented or changed some things, and the Green Maya project came into play. And so what the Green Maya project is we do day retreats and multi-day retreats. And so what that encompasses, it's ecotourism. So there's zero waste. Mm-hmm. We source our food and drinks and those things organically and locally from local producers. We offset our carbon by planting mangrove trees. Mm-hmm. Mangrove trees.
Where are you planting the mangrove trees?
So we're doing Sisal, and we're doing some stuff over in Rio Lagartos.
Oh, okay.
And
around the town, or
no, in the forest. So in the forest, okay. I work with local organizations in both places. Mm-hmm. In Sisal, there's an organization called Amigas del Manglares.
Okay.
And I work with them. Great organization. And then Rio Lagartos, there's a boat captain who takes tours. And so we work together with reforestation of the mangroves.
Okay.
And so what people might not know is that the mangrove forest, there's only, very few locations in the world, 3 maybe, that have mangroves. But they are vital. They are vital to our ecosystems.
Right. Absolutely. Yeah.
They clean more air. They clean more air per square area than the Amazon rainforest. Like, super important.
And they protect from hurricanes, erosion. They're a major barrier for protection.
Super important, super important. So while we, in the name of development, we keep taking them out.
Yeah, it's very dangerous. Very dangerous in hurricane country, and with all the wildlife that is brought in by the mangrove swamps. It's incredible.
It's their protection. It's where they can. That's where they can feel safe and live safe. Yeah.
And I was at the beach for the last 2 months, and people probably know because I was posting all about it and going all over in the place in the beach I was in Chichilu, and I had a view from the rooftop of the mangroves, and the windmills, the windmills that are now producing electricity. But awesome. It's just phenomenal to go by the mangrove swamps all over Yucatan. The migrating birds, it's magical. I would look over and see like flocks of flamingos flying, but not only flamingos, all types of wildlife. I would go walking in the mangroves. I saw deer, I saw crocodile, I saw an anteater, which by the way, I even got a message from a wildlife photographer who I love, Mike Diaz.
Oh yeah, I love Mike.
He's awesome. Yeah. And he even messaged me, said, "Where did you find that anteater? I've been looking for an anteater for years." But in the mangroves over just right outside of Progreso.
Yeah. I mean, we live in a super special place. We get over 400 species of birds here. This is a migrating space. Yeah.
And so I know that that's part of your ecotourism. So you're trying to bring awareness to tourists in general.
Exactly.
To help people connect a little bit more with nature. I know that one of I think the first excursions after the pandemic, I don't know if you were doing much before the pandemic, but I know one of your first after the pandemic was bird watching, correct?
Yeah.
A bird watching retreat.
Yeah. So we'd start the morning. I have this great connection where we can go on this farm that it's no one else can go on there. So that's kind of makes it really special and unique. And I mean, the first time we went, we saw 60 species. The next time we went, we saw something like 65 species. And our bird watcher guide, who's amazing, and he speaks English and Spanish, and very smart kid. Right. Love him. And he saw one species. Oh, I can't remember the name of it because it was sitting next to some very common ones. But he was so excited, and he was messaging his friends because it was a very unique one, a little blackbird. So it's really special. And then to make it a whole experience, we then go and we have a lunch that again is organic food, locally made, local ingredients. And we invited Thai Spa, which I think you had Manola on last night.
I did. I was with Manola last night, the owner of the Thai Spa. She's great.
Small businesses. Yeah. So after a few hours of bird watching, our necks and shoulders can get a little sore, so we do some massage and.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah. So it's about making it an experience. It's about like taking what we have here naturally, just the natural beauties, but then making it a complete experience. So a typical tour company is gonna be big groups. It's gonna feed you ham sandwiches. And Coca-Colas, and that's just not good enough for us, for the Green Maya Project. For me, I want more of an experience that's actually educating you, that's actually connecting you, that's teaching you, that's making you feel something.
Right. So, and in doing that, the experience is so much more memorable and enriching. To be able to really connect with nature, but also to the people that you're with, and to learn about the culture and the nature of the place that you're at.
Exactly.
So I have a question for you. So if someone yeah, wants to come down and not necessarily go with your tours, or maybe they're on their own schedule, what can they do to not trample on nature, to help to participate in sustainable tourism?
I think it's just about, I mean, if you're coming down, then you're coming with your family or a small group. So the first thing is, don't buy into the big group bus, cheap, everyone get on a bus and everyone go to a location. Like, go out on your own, rent a car, or you find a local guide. I can help you with that too.
I can too.
Yeah, there you go. It's just about low impact. It's about really getting into the culture. Go and have lunch with a Maya family. Mm-hmm. Go and participate in the local culture. Go talk to the people. Become, don't try and do things as you would do in America or Europe. Like, really become a local. Connect. And here it's just go outside.
Yeah. Well, and that's what I think is so special about tourism in Yucatan, is I always say it's kind of a boutique experience in and of itself, because it really doesn't have too many of the big tour buses and the big tour this and these big attractions. It's a little bit more boutique. They're small experiences in general. Exactly. And I think that's really unique here, and that could really be experienced and definitely in a sustainable way, which is going to be beneficial for the locals in tourism and for the traveler.
100%. I mean, that's one of the biggest things with tourism, especially places that are tourist destinations. All the locals, this is their livelihood. The local fishermen, the local people that take you out into the mangroves, the local guides that take you to the cenotes and the archaeological sites. Like, this is their livelihood. And when we purchase, this is about sustainable living as well. When we purchase from a small business, we are supporting that community. We are creating the livelihoods for that small community, which, when we have a successful community, that creates sustainability.
Right.
So small Absolutely. Business all the way.
Right. And an exchange of culture, and like a real true exchange, a human exchange.
How the other side lives,
exactly.
How the other people live, and comparing it to how you live and what you have access to and what they don't have access to, but yet they're more happy than you are.
Right.
So, what is that?
Right. So, okay, going back just a little bit, we'll start to kind of wrap things up, but I do want to touch on the water issue again. I know you were talking about how it's pretty devastating. So what can we do as a whole, humans in general, or just for our own part, to conserve water or to help with the situation?
So, what we do in our home is important. So, use water responsibly. That's easy. We can do that. But the bigger contributors to the problems that we face, climate change, water shortages, is industrial agriculture. Mm-hmm. So where we buy our food is uber important.
Oh, okay. Right.
So when we're shopping at the Costco's and the Walmarts and the Amazons, we're supporting industrial agriculture.
Right.
And they don't care about how much water they're using.
Right.
But what we can do to help that is we go to the local markets.
Local market.
Mm-hmm. And we're so lucky here in Merida because we have the slow food market, and it has one in the north and one in Centro. We can both do it. And all of those farmers or producers, they're all small. They're all small business. They're all growing it responsibly. They know how to do it. So the fishermen, We're lucky here because we can go buy directly from the fishermen.
Absolutely, yes.
But when we
and
buy
even at the big markets, like in the central markets,
mm-hmm.
a lot of those are small local farmers. They might not necessarily be organic or, but
that's okay.
Right.
Yep. Yeah, organic is it's a weird label because it's something that's cost a lot of money to get the organic stamp.
Yeah.
It's for small farmers, they can't afford it. So it's goofy.
Right. Exactly.
And when we say organic, it just means they're growing like they did 150 years ago, without chemicals, without pesticides, using water responsibly, caring for the earth and for the soil. They care about it. So they put their love into it. And so they get my stamp of organic right there. You don't need the USDA or Mexican, stamp. That's just another commercial way to make more money, unfortunately.
Absolutely. Well, we'll go ahead and start to wrap things up, but I do have one more thing to ask. Okay, so I want you to think of just maybe one or two words. When I give you this word, I want you to tell me tell us the first thing that comes into your mind.
Okay.
So nature.
Nature is healing. Period.
That's perfect. And connection.
Connection is what we all need more of. We need to reconnect. We need to reconnect to those things that are most important to us, and that's our community, that's our food, that's our family. That's we need to reconnect spiritually, whatever that means for you, whatever form of religion or spirituality, it doesn't matter. Just you need to reconnect to it because that's what makes us whole. So the connection.
Good. Well, thank you so much, and be sure to let me know. I know through Mid-City, I like to promote the different retreats, etc. that you all have. And do you have anything coming up soon? A retreat or a trip?
Yeah, we're gonna do. I'm trying to figure out the exact dates based on school timing and stuff. But I want to do a digital detox for families because we've all been on our phones and electronics for the last year and a half.
I need a digital detox.
Yeah, so we're going to do that sometime in the fall. I'm thinking September.
Oh, fun. And what would that be, like a week, 5 days, 4 days, or what would that be?
It's like 5 to 7 days. I'm working on that right now, but it's sans electronics. You turn it all off. And don't worry, we have a photographer who's going to capture all your magical moments. So you don't need your phone.
You can selfie with their picture.
Exactly. And it's about reconnecting with nature. So we're going to be in the mangroves. We're going to be bird watching. We're going to be having meals with Maya families. We're going to see, the local sites and camping. We have a camping night. So we'll stay in different places throughout the retreat. But it's really just about turning it all off and just being in the moment with your family, with your friends, and disconnecting so that you can reconnect.
Right.
Yeah.
Great. Well, Sara, we'll finish up it, but just let people know again how they can get in touch with you. I know you have Instagram, the Green Maya Project, correct? Mm-hmm. What are your other your URL and tags?
Yeah, so everything on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, it's all the Green Maya Project. Mm-hmm. You can reach me at sarah@greenmaya.mx.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. That's my email.
Sarah.
Yep, and yeah, everything's Green Maya Project. If you Google the Green Maya Project, we'll come up. So just send me a message on any of those, and I'll get back to you immediately. I'm on.
You're on it. All right. Well, thank you so much. And I do want to remind everybody watching as well to don't forget to follow us at Mid-City on Facebook. And also I'm on Instagram a lot as well. And be sure to like and share if you like this video, because it really helps to get the information out, and it helps to support both the Green Maya Project and Mid-City. So thanks again, Sara, and I will be seeing you soon, hopefully.
Yes, I hope so too.
All right.
Thank you so much. Bye, everyone.